Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Do you have a favorite ice cream topping? Of course you do. But maybe today I can tempt you to try another, and another, and another. Today on SoFlo Taste.
This is South Florida. It's where I live and work. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. South Florida is more than sun, sand, and sea. It's a lifestyle of fashion, sound, culture, and of course, food. Food with taste from all over the world. Join me as we celebrate the food of South Florida
And the people who love it.
Join me as we experience SoFlo Taste.
Good morning, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to SoFlo Taste and welcome to the GOYA Kitchen here at JA World in Coconut Creek. Are you someone who needs to top your ice cream with deep, dark chocolate? Or maybe you're the ooey gooey sauce kind? Or are you a berry sauce topper? No matter which, today I thought it would be fun for me to give you recipes that will please you all. And since July is National Ice Cream Month and tomorrow's National Ice Cream Day specifically, let's get cooking. We're going to start off with kind of like a caramel sauce. It's a praline sauce with maple syrup. It's really delicious, so I'm just going to start it. Maple syrup, you get started with that. Go ahead and pour that into a pan. And then a good scoop of brown sugar, and then finally some kosher salt. Let that melt and let the sugar dissolve, and that happens really quickly once you start heating it up. And then go ahead and add your heavy cream. We're going to want to bring that mixture to a full boil, and it will begin to thicken as it goes, as it kind of bubbles up. And you really want to get to a temperature of approximately 220, but basically you're looking for it to thicken. That's really what you're looking for specifically. All right, I'm going to let that all come together and start bubbling. Once we do, that will get the butter and the pecan. But I would love to jump into my crispy topping of the day. And it is a candied Rice Krispie. Probably one of the best toppers I've ever made. So we use this a lot in our restaurant recipes, and I feel like the topping kind of wins the show. So I like to use gloves because it's really sticky. This is just starting to come to a boil. All right, so what you do is you take some Rice Krispies, just as they are, and you mix them with granulated sugar and corn syrup. And go ahead and mix that up. And you really want to combine it really well, hence the gloves, because a rubber spatula really just doesn't do it. You want to make sure that it really is evenly distributed amongst the Rice Krispies, but don't crush them, because then you'll have crushed Rice Krispies. Not that that's a really bad thing either. I always used to make these in a pan with just a little bit of sugar, and I used to caramelize the sugar, but we found that this works so much easier, and it's also easier to make really big amounts at a time. By the way, I eat this as cereal too, of course. It's delicious. But on top of an ice cream sundae, whoo, there's nothing better. All right, we're gonna pour these onto a piece of parchment. I can hear the crackle pop. I can pour these onto a piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet, and then we're going into a 325-degree oven. But don't walk away. Every 4 to 5 minutes, stir it up a little bit with that rubber spatula. Without gloved hands. Gloved hands and a hot oven don't mix too well. All right, let's come back over here and check on our sauce. So as you can see, it's bubbling quite a bit, and it's also getting really nice and thick. So let's stir it about a little bit, and now that I see it's coming together and thickening up quite beautifully, I'm going to go ahead and add my pecans and the butter I told you about. Stir that up until everything dissolves and the butter melts. And the best part is allowing it to cool. And once it cools, you can go ahead and jar it up. What a great gift this is because it really lasts for a really long time, but it's so delicious. And this is the first sauce for our ice cream today. Just such a great flavor. It's so toasty and so yummy. All right, so we've got some cooking to do. That's gonna be a while. Come right back. We have a bunch of other sauces and toppings and deliciousness for this show. More SoFlo taste and more toppings after the break.
Now back to the GOYA Kitchen at JA World and SoFlo Taste. Here's Chef Michelle Bernstein.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste as I celebrate National Ice Cream Day and Month. And why is it so? Because it was signed into public law in 1984 that July would be National Ice Cream Month and the third Sunday of the month, tomorrow, would be National Ice Cream Day by President Ronald Reagan. So it must be legal. Now let's get back to honoring the law and my toppings. All right, let's get into my chocolate sauce. My chocolate sauce is actually a chocolate and port wine sauce today. Rather than just making a good old chocolate sauce, why not add a little port wine? And we do burn off the alcohol, so it's perfectly fine for the kiddies. All right, so this all goes into a pot together. We've got some bittersweet chocolate. Again, we have corn syrup, regular sugar, cocoa powder, and always try to get like the best quality cocoa powder. That's what you really want. A good heavy pinch of kosher salt. The port wine, now if you aren't into port wine, then you can use a little bit of cream, or you can use some red wine. You can use some Madeira or some sherry, or I've run out of ideas. Okay. And then finally, some butter, unsalted always. The only thing I use salted butter for, just so you guys know, is once in a blue moon, if I get some really fancy salty butter, just to put on some toasty bread. That's about it. I would never use salty butter in a recipe. All right, so you want this to really just come together, warm through. Ooh, it smells so yummy. Let everything melt, let the alcohol burn out, and then we will have sauce. So I'm gonna leave it there for just a minute. Let's take a look at our Crispies in the oven. I have to say, the oven smells like a cross between a carnival and a marshmallow. It smells so good. All right, so you see how they're starting to caramelize? Can you see that the color has changed? They're not so pale looking. So obviously they start sticking to the paper, better than sticking to your pan, trust me. And just kind of move it around a little bit. And these only need another couple minutes. And we'll take them out of there. All right. Ooh, even the towel gets stuck. And have a receptacle ready for the Rice Krispies to go into, because they will just basically harden on that paper and you won't be able to get them off, and it has to happen while they're hot. All right, let's jump back over here, check out our sauce. It's almost completely melted through. I'm just gonna raise the heat just a little bit now that I'm back. All right, so while that gets hot, I'm gonna teach you another fun topping. Let's make cherry whipped cream, shall we? So I know I'm getting a little crazy. My son has to have maraschino cherries for his ice cream. He'd rather actually eat the maraschino cherry than the ice cream. So I always have good maraschino cherries around. But then I also have these, and these are probably his greatest weakness in the world. And actually Dan, the guy that makes these, is a friend. These are called filthy cherries. He makes all kinds of things that we use in Sweet Liberty in our bar as toppings. And this is called an amarena cherry. This is serious business, this stuff. This is good stuff. So it's up to you if you want to make maraschino cherry whipped cream or amarena cherry whipped cream. What do you guys vote for? Amarena? All right. What you need is to start out with almost fully whipped cream. This is about halfway whipped, so you already see that it's basically come together. It's not fully whipped, but it's almost there, okay? So I'm just gonna pour some of the amarena. So obviously you don't need sugar because you have enough in this. And then whip. I wanted to see the color with the maraschino, so I added a little bit of both. So what you get is this really delicately pink whipped cream that I have to try. Oh, it's really good. Oh, this is a fun show. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my chocolate. Yep, it all melted. And it doesn't look too thick, but remember, it has to cool. So once it cools, you add a little bit of vanilla into it, mix it around, and this is what you get. Let me show you the texture of this stuff. Oh my God, that whipped cream is so good. So yummy port wine chocolate sauce, really thick and delicious. And you'll get this once it cools. Okay, so there's that. Whipped cream, let's give a quick check-in on our Rice Krispies. Let's see where we are with that. These are done. So immediately, keep your towel on that parchment paper and push them all forward and then go straight into a bowl. Kind of messy, but kind of fun at the same time. These will cool, and this is what they're like. Once they cool, and this is really hot, but once they cool, you'll want to separate them because they kind of cluster together and they become like this. And these are just so yummy. I cannot wait to build a sundae. Come right back for more ice cream toppings fun. But before I go, all my recipes are available on the SoFlo Taste webpage. Just point your phone camera at this quick response code. It will take you directly to the SoFlo Taste recipe page. You'll also see it on the ingredient list and throughout the show. Come right back. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, celebrating National Ice Cream Day and month. I'm in Coconut Creek at JA World for information about this wonderful place, even during a pandemic, and what it does for our children. Go to jasouthflorida.org or call 954-979-7100. Now let's top off the show. All right, so I just really wanted to show you the textures of everything so that you can see what things are supposed to look like, because it's easy for me to show you in the jar. So the chocolate sauce, as you can see, you can easily make a line through it. And that is something that we chefs like to call nappe. And it usually means to coat the back of a spoon, but in this case, you can draw a line in it. And then the same goes for this beautiful praline sauce. You can easily make a line in that as well. You can see that line stays in both. And that's when you know they're really thick and ready to go. They're just beautiful. And like I said before, these make beautiful gifts. So what's great about them is that they sit really well in room temperature. So they don't have to always be refrigerated. You can put a lid on these and wrap them in a bow and give them as gifts, maybe for the holidays. They're just wonderful, and they go with so many great, delicious things. A lot of desserts, not just ice cream. Ice cream is delicious, but it's just a wonderful idea and a lovely gift for people. These you could wrap up and definitely give as a gift. They're kind of addictive, by the way. All right, so let's work on my last sauce recipe. We have here some cut up strawberries. 'Tis the season, after all. Let's go ahead and turn the heat on. And I'm going to just add some granulated sugar to begin with and stir that around. And what I'm looking for is that sugar to melt. So normally people would fill this with a bit of liquid, but because I really just want the strawberries to shine, I'm trying to not really add anything other than a squeeze of lemon right towards the end of the cooking process of this. And then you're going to just get this thick, delicious strawberry sauce. Now, if you want more of a thin sauce, you can add a little bit of water to this, but I really wouldn't. If you can just watch it for just a couple minutes, I highly recommend it because you're going to get something so special. It's almost like a marmalade without the pectin. All right, so my sugar is almost melted. So you see how we have everything is nice and shiny. The sugar is just about melted, and the strawberries are just starting to break down. And now I'm going to add the lemon. This comes out to be just a little shy of half the lemon, and if you like limes better, by all means, that'll also be delicious. Now that the lemon is in and the sugar is melted, I basically just reduce that to a nice low setting and just let it simmer. And then let me show you what that looks like. Look at this beautiful, and I'm going to put a little bit here so you can see it. This is just delicious, and it's, like I said, it's kind of like a marmalade without the pectin. It's rich and thick, and it goes so well on pistachio ice cream and vanilla ice cream and pretty much anything. But it's so yummy, and let's just see what all these things combined are like, because I can only imagine how delicious they're going to be. So when you come right back, we will of course make a beautiful sundae together, and I can't wait.
Hi, I'm design expert Elena Capra. Michelle will be right back. And don't forget, stay tuned for another episode of SoFlo Home Project following SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and of course our ice cream topping show. We have already pre-scooped some ice cream. I've got vanilla, strawberry, and pistachio. And I think I'll need a little help. Aldo, what do you want on your sundae?
I want everything here.
You want everything?
Yeah.
All right, what ice creams do you want?
Strawberry.
Just strawberry?
Yep.
All right, you're easy. So we've got strawberries. So everything?
Everything.
All right. So I'm going to start out with the pecan sauce, the port wine chocolate sauce, a little bit of the delicious strawberry topping, and then finally the Rice Krispies. And of course, whipped cream. Senor? All right, now I'm going to make mine. Mine, I'm a bit of a purist. I know you're going to think I'm boring, but I'm going with vanilla, port wine chocolate, the tiniest bit of pecan right over the top of that, I have to have whipped cream. If anybody knows me, they know that I love whipped cream. And then, of course, my Crispies. And I'd say we did pretty good. Let's take a little. So happy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming along with me today on my search for the perfect ice cream topping. But as you can see from today's show, there may not be a perfect topping. They may all be really great. Next week, I'm not dipping ice cream, but I am dipping none the same. I'll have all kinds of dips for you, including a savory spinach artichoke dip, a spicy romesco dip, and a cheesy chile con queso dip. So double dipping will be encouraged. Please be here. Now let's check in with the talented Elena Capra from SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What are you up to today?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Did you know that the #1 update to homes is countertops? Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we talk about all of the benefits of man-made hard surfacing options for the home and even put one to the test, and you don't want to miss it.
So Taste Buds, thanks again for watching. Please be smart, be safe, be well, and please get vaccinated. I'll give you a Sunday. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, good health, mwah, and good taste. You scream, I scream.